Okay.
Well, I'll talk about that during the next episode because we're not doing that episode.
Good point.
Really just kind of jumped the gun on that one a little bit.
Good point. Jump the old gun there.
Yeah. What did
Nate,
you guys
tell us again how this isn't a haircut. This is a new haircut you have. It's just
What is did you get it cut?
No, it's just I don't want you to think I got it cut. It's just laying down weirdly right now.
this is what happens when you ride dirt roads on four-wheelers.
Yeah.
Dadgum, little greasy, and you just rub it back. You just pull it right back with it.
You know, when you go down to Pike County.
Almighty.
Montgomery County.
Pike Road, I think.
Pike Road, excuse me.
I think that's where we're
Did
going.
you guys like my solo episode?
I loved it personally.
Didn't watch all of it.
I did because I'm supportive.
Freaking minutes.
I'm super supportive.
You're not at all.
I feel like
if you're not on the episode, you do not watch it or listen.
But I did. It's not even like a long one. Like I didn't listen to all the ones when I was on my.
Listen, I'm sorry. Macy wanted to watch The Office. She did not want to watch you. I'm sorry.
No. But the thing is that from the time I put that out on Friday till now, we remember the scene in Good Will Hunting where they're like, hey, we're going to go to that certain burger place. And we're like, we're not going to that burger place that's 15 minutes out of the way just because you like the takeout girl. And the guy's like, what have we got to do with it? We don't have 15 minutes. That's how I feel right now, Ben.
Yeah.
Goose is also upset.
He's beside himself.
He's listened to it 3 times. I've made him listen to it 3 times.
That's probably why he's barking.
If you'd have listened to the whole thing, you had a funny little shout out to you at the end.
Did you like the beginning at least where I said you're at a board meeting for a Shopaholics nonprofit?
No,
I thought it was a thing, to be honest. I thought it was a legit thing. All right. So tonight, recap the Genesis, how sneaky awesome, underrated Riviera is. And
is it underrated?
Is it underrated?
I think it is. I feel like this tournament gets nothing, and it's an freaking unbelievable track.
Kind of weird take.
That people think is underrated?
I think it's
2 out of the 3 of us don't think it's underrated.
I think it's wild. Like we can look at ratings. We can look at who's won the last 3 at the Genesis.
Who's won the last 3 Masters right now?
I don't know who won the last 3 players.
If I can really think about it, I mean, I can guess it. There's no way I could guess Riviera. I just feel like it doesn't get management last year. I just don't feel like it gets the love. It's awesome.
Bobby Fairways loves it.
Loves it. That was a good video. Yeah. So up and downs, ins and outs, the Riviera. Talk about Phil a little bit, and then some of the Tigers interview and interviews throughout the weekend, and just kind of go from there. Sound good?
Is that a salmon color? Is that what that is? Salmon or pink?
It's just salmon. It is.
That's actually, you're wearing that in your Facebook profile picture.
I like it. I like it. I think I was wearing this visor too, if I'm not mistaken.
I like lamp.
Well, I love lamp.
I love lamp.
All right, here we go. Episode. Let me make sure I got my ad read.
I do love the fact that every time that Nate goes hunting or 4-wheel riding, we got to break out the camouflage every single time.
That's all he's got.
Yep. Anytime he's going to do anything country, he's got to have camouflage on.
Well,
he can't go 4-wheeler riding with your salmon pullover on.
Do a lot of country shit now.
Dude, there's mud flipping up, okay? You don't want to get that to get on your salmon pullover. Listen, I'll take you guys out there one day, maybe. Actually, I'll just take Kyle out there.
Yeah, I'm down.
And you can just wear your white T-shirt, Ben, and we can go mud riding.
That's pretty
I
funny.
did wear a white T-shirt yesterday on the big mud ride.
That's pretty funny. You assume that a kid from a town population 500 has never been mud riding. It's pretty.
I didn't say you never been mud riding. That's all you guys had on Friday night.
Married a Conecuh County girl. Conecuh sausage.
You married a Conecuh sausage? No, you didn't. I would marry a Conecuh sausage because it's delicious.
Well, you better hurry up because they're running out of product.
I just married you so I could eat you whenever I wanted to.
Whenever I wanted to. All right, episode 140.
Like you smell like sausage.
You smell like sausage. All right, here.
I'm gonna marry you.
All right, here we go. Ready and hit it. What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's the Dadbod Golf Pod, episode 140. We got the giggles because it's Monday, and we're ready to help you get the week started. It's Kyle, Ben, Nate, ready to rock, and a great tournament this weekend. We're ready to talk about it. A lot of headlines. Yes. We're ready to just dive in. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Betonline, the #1 sports betting website in the country. All the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next coach is going to land. Betonline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website. There's a 50% sign-on bonus. Use coupon code BLEAV, BLEAV, to get started. Give them $100. They're going to throw another 50 on top of it. BetOnline is where the game starts. Gentlemen, hope everybody had a great weekend. It's time to talk some golf. And this weekend was a great event that y'all don't think that it's underrated. I think it's criminally underrated, and that's the Genesis Invitational at Riviera Country Club.
Okay, well, then you go first. Why do you think it's underrated? Because it's in LA, it's a star-studded field, and now it's even hosted by Tiger Woods.
And you can't use the fact that we don't know the last 3 winners.
Yeah, you can't use it because we don't know the last 3 winners of like just about any tournament that's been played.
I mean, we could just, if we wanted to, we could look up ratings. We could look up buzz heading around it. I feel like we get fired up for the Farmers, and then we don't really talk about Riviera very much.
Okay, recency bias. The buzz last year was phenomenal because Tiger got in a damn car wreck.
That's not the tournament. That's not the tournament.
No, but it created buzz. It was constant. Everybody wanted to watch the golf tournament to see if they'd talk about updates on Tiger.
Kyle,
that happened after the tournament. That happened after the tournament was over.
I think right now the Genesis is getting overshadowed by some other things that are swirling in the golf world.
It could be because
Riviera is as iconic a golf course as there is.
I totally agree.
What did this tournament used to be called? It wasn't the Genesis. What
was it? The Honda?
It used to be the Honda. Yeah, Blaine. This is Blaine's best finish ever on the PGA Tour. Was at Riviera.
Was that the Riviera?
Wait, wow. I thought the Honda. I think his was.
I thought he had like a T3.
PGA
when I was a kart guy, I remember he had a T3, and I tried to speak to him on the range. I was like, "I'm Blaine, good play."
Yeah, we better make sure we correct that and make sure that's actually correct. But yeah, no, I just feel like that it's just I just don't feel like I feel like the golf, like the typical golf people love it, but like I just don't think that Riviera as a course gets much hype. I kind of feel like it's none of us ever even remotely mention it in tournaments that we would like to win. And it's outside of majors and the players. I just think it's a criminally underrated, awesome tournament. You're right. It typically does have a star-studded field, but I don't know. 10. I just kind of feel like
we didn't name it, but I mean, it's not a major. It's not the players. It's not the kickoff of the season as far as like the Farmers is concerned. So, I mean, I don't think it's underrated. I just think it's kind of maybe middle of the pack, maybe right around number 8, 9, 10, something around there.
It does get cursed from being the hangover tournament after Waste Management. I will say that. That's actually a pretty tough.
Yeah, after having to follow that after that,
yes.
All that excitement. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I can see that because that.
I mean, because Waste Management is the most hyped tournament outside of the 5. I'm just including the players, the 4 majors and the players.
I get what you're saying, Kyle. I just don't think it's like I don't think the word is underrated. Maybe underappreciated.
We just
tell me the difference. What's the difference between those 2 words? Underappreciated.
Because as I said, I think it's right there at like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as far as tournaments are concerned, because it's not one of the majors and it's not the kickoff to the season, but it's not down there with the Barbasol. I mean,
whoa.
I'm not saying it's there. I just don't feel like. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Well, so maybe tell me this, Kyle. If it has if it's mid-March, if it's just anywhere else in the schedule, because there's a pretty banger lineup. You got the Farmers at Torrey, then you got the Waste Management. I just think it falls
Pebble Beach
too. Yeah, Pebble Beach is in there.
You got those 4 in a row, 4 awesome tournaments.
Okay, maybe in a different spot it gets more.
Okay, how much do you think you watched of this tournament versus the other 3? I'm talking about Torrey, Pebble Beach, and the Waste Management. Probably 4.
I watched
this probably a bad analogy for somebody like me. I watch them all weekend, every round.
I watched the most of Waste Management and then Pebble.
I've fallen in love with this ESPN Plus coverage, so I'm watching just about as much as I possibly can.
But I was riding dirt roads yesterday.
I just caught myself. I guess I just caught myself. And maybe this is just a me thing. Maybe it's just a me thing. I caught myself watching this golf course and I know multiple holes. And I'm like, why the heck don't I get fired up to watch? I know like several holes, like because it's such an iconic course. Why do I not get so fired up to watch this like start to finish Thursday through Sunday? And I don't know, maybe I'm just talking to myself. But anyway, it was a great tournament.
I get what you're saying, because I mean the whole like 10,
some of the greatest pictures
could be an eagle putt to friggin' triple.
Yeah. I mean, 6, you got the bunker in the middle of the green, like and then 18, like how many iconic pictures do you have of a winner coming in on 18? You got the hill covered with people. It wasn't necessarily that way this time, but you just got all the it's just
they had a good crowd. You
got the clubhouse, the iconic clubhouse sitting up on top of the hill. I mean, I don't know. I love Riviera. My pro that I caddied for last summer, he was a member there. So he had a lot of Riviera stuff, and he talked about Riv the whole time. So
that's a big flex.
Yeah.
One of the best tweets I saw all weekend was some rando that got retweeted, and I wish I'd have retweeted or at least saved it or bookmarked it or something. And the tweet, I'm paraphrasing here, but it said something like, just your typical conversation at Riviera. There are 4 guys over there talking about the issues they're having with their private plane as I go grab my keys to get my Honda Accord. I thought that was pretty phenomenal.
That is great.
How do you feel about the Porta Johns here at Riviera?
The Porta John, mid-game Porta John move.
You got the like the best of both worlds, like from the average golfer that's driving the Honda Accord to the guys in there that are talking about their private jets.
Amazing.
So they're on the first tee, like, so like, what are we doing? Like $2,000, $4,000 Nassau, or like, what are we doing?
2 and 2, and it's $2,000.
How many zeros are we putting? We doing 20 grand, 200 grand? Max press? No max.
No. I thought we said $2. No, 2,000. We don't do that. So anyway, Joaquin Niemann, who this is another one. I'm shocked. This was his first win. Wins at Riviera, and sort of had a one of the first wire-to-wire finishes, I think,
since
in
1969.
Nice.
Since last week.
Yeah, that's a lot of years. I'm not going to do that math, but it's a bunch.
And it was Charlie Sifford who did it last.
53.
Old Charlie, old man Sifford's son. Love it. So Joaquin, love him. Young guy. He is
Joaquin,
whatever. Joaquin.
That guy could be voted the #1 guy that does not look like either his first nor his last name, but yet we call him Joaquin Phoenix.
Yep. There you go. 63, 63, 68, Niemann. 71. And he had a chance. He had to 4-putt to lose on the last hole, or 4-putt to tie. Sorry, 4-putt to tie. Obviously, he parred it and wins it by 2 over a pretty stacked top 5. Colin Morikawa, Cameron Young, Adam Scott, Victor Hovland, and then Justin Thomas was right there too. So Scotty Scheffler. I mean, you had a very star-studded field.
Great back-to-back for Scotty Scheffler. I love seeing a guy. I would definitely miss the cut after I win a tour event.
Oh yeah.
I love a guy coming back and just getting right back in the thick of it.
You see my boy Rory coming to the States.
Yes, he did.
Top 10.
Was today playing a little tougher? When I scrolled through the leaderboard, there was a lot of guys backing up. I mean, Niemann shot even and one shooting even. You should never really do that on a PGA Tour event. You should never win shooting even on the last day.
They had the pins tucked today. There was nothing center of the green at all. It played. I don't know. I wouldn't say U.S. Open style, but they definitely had it where everything was in a corner and the greens were hard. They were dried out. They didn't wet them. So, I mean,
a lot of 68s to 72s.
What was the part? What's the part? Is 17 a part? No, 17 is a par 4, isn't it? Or par 3? I think it was 17. They're hitting 9 irons in, Nate, and they couldn't hold a green.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Some of those greens are really tiny, by the way.
Yeah.
Very tiny. So Joaquin Niemann, first win, big time. Were there anything interesting throughout the turn? I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Like, where do y'all want to go first? Like, what's something that you want to talk about the tournament that really stood out to you?
I don't have a lot on this one, not gonna lie. I mean, I just underrated a tournament. I didn't pay much attention to it.
I'll go first.
I like on 10, I saw one thing that stood out, because I told you on 10 that's one of my favorite holes in golf. It's anywhere from 285 to, I think it plays around 310 whenever they got it tucked back, and so those guys are hitting anywhere from 3-wood to driver. And DJ had to, it was either day 1 or day 2. He had to basically hit it sideways in the bunker to hit it out of the bunker again, because he knew he wouldn't be able to hold the green from where he was. And I love that. And I love watching, it sounds terrible to say that, but I love watching pros struggle and have to, like on 10, have to go sideways like around a tree, even though it's a 300-yard hole.
I get
and take their medicine.
I totally get the analytics of going for it. I totally get it. Like but literally on 10, unless you miss it short, there is nowhere on that whole like area of the world where you can make birdie. Like there's just it's like impossible to make birdie. Any of the bunker shots, if you miss it left, it's absolutely death. If you miss it long, you're going to have about 150 in by the time it hits cart path, rolls long, all that good stuff. If you
miss it right, you can't ever get it on the green.
Yeah, you can't stop it. You could go literally bunker to bunker. I totally get the analytics behind it, but I don't remember seeing many people at all not hitting it for the very, very front of the green, the whole layup area where you lay it back and it's like 100 some odd yards from the layup area. I mean, it was just rip driver. I would love to know
that before his round today. JT said they'd ask him about making a push down the run because he was within score. I mean, everybody was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 shots behind the leader. So, I mean, It's like, what do you do? And it's like, you got to pick and choose your holes. And so somebody asked him about 10 and he said, and he went with his game plan. He said, iron off the tee. He said, I've got to be able to hold that green on the second shot. Iron off the tee. So you got to wonder with him doing that, like how many of them, I'm like you, I know what the numbers say. I know the analytics. And if they hit a perfect drive or a perfect 3-wood and they're just short of the green, everything's great.
Yeah.
But if you go right, and it's amazing how many of them duck hook it left. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know if they're holding off.
It goes forever too when you hit it left. And there's trees right there off the green. Like it's a diabolical little short par 4. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. A lot of drama there. I kind of wish it was later in the round. I wish it was, like a 16 or a 17. That way they could, kind of like 17 at
the Waste Management.
At the Waste Management. I wish it was somewhere like that. I feel like 6 is an awesome par 3, and it's too early in the round that I don't feel like it gets the ample TV coverage. Got the pot bunker literally in the middle of the green. It does a donut, and you got a pot bunker right in the middle of it. Stuff like that's just really cool.
One reminds me of like the Judge in Montgomery.
Yep.
Because it's so elevated. And when they hit it, it seems like it goes forever. And then none of them hit the fairway either, which is amazing to me. I don't know how wide that fairway is. It looks huge from the tee box, and they're all hitting 3-woods, and none of them ever hit the fairway.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it must be like 20 yards wide when you get down there.
Yeah. Another cool thing that I saw, Ben and Nate, was the line that Victor Hovland took on, I think it's 15. Did y'all see this?
The last par 5?
No, it's a par 4. It's a par 4. There is, I think it's 17 that runs back down parallel with the hole, and it's a dog leg right. So everybody has to hit a big cut on that hole, and then it's a really tough second shot. But what Hovland found was a little gap in the trees. And if you go back and watch, just search him on the PGA Tour app on Twitter, or PGA Tour on Twitter, he hit it up. So 17 greens right beside him, he hit it up the fairway on 17, and he had like 150, 165 yard shot. It's gigantic landing area. He
did it all 4 days.
All 4 days. And it got me thinking, like, at what point in time, some of these old courses like this, are they going to start doing the in-course, out of bounds stuff? Like, at what point in time are they going to start doing that? Like, it's got to be coming soon. Or do you think they'll just let it be?
I don't know. I think if he's the only one doing it, like, I think they kind of got so much blowback when they did that with Bryson that they were like, look, he's the only one that's doing that. Like, you're literally making the rule for him. So that kind of sucks. So like he was
Or
the only one. He was the only one that did it this tournament. So if they did that, it'd be like, okay, so you're picking on the one guy. Like nobody else out of a 100-man field is doing it but him.
What if next year, like half the field plays it that way? Because it
Then
does look like
I think you're probably going to get an in-course out of bounds.
it reminded me of Bubba. I think it was the Zozo over in Japan. There's a crazy video of this par 5 where it's a big swooping. There's this big swooping like dog leg, and he is hitting. Like, it's funny because you know how they have the signs by the hole that's got like all the sponsors and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It almost looks like he's hitting underneath the legs of the sign, perpendicular to the right, hitting this, like cutting over like 3 or 4 holes. Like it's wild. I love stuff like that, but I kind of feel like the PGA Tour is not going to like.
Oh,
They're going to try to put a stop to that.
But what can what can you do if you, besides reworking the course? Like you can't stop. You can't not allow lines.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. But.
Well, it's that whole saying, you hear pros say, take what the course gives you.
Yeah.
That's what the course is giving him. So that's what he's taking. So I guess that's the only way that they're going to do it is to be able to cut it off. I don't know if it's part of the course, then that they ought to be able to use it. If he's not going out of bounds, then that's just, I like the creativity. I like the fact that they try it because if he totally screws up, he's taking triple on that hole.
Yeah.
That's there's
blocks
there's
it way
definitely
right.
more
Yeah.
risk over there. Yeah.
So that's why I don't have a problem. It was the same thing with Bryson on that one course that he was doing it, that they, during the practice rounds, he was doing it and they were saying it was still tough for him to get up and down. Like he was still bogeying even in practice rounds. And then they still made it OB. And it's like,
yeah,
he's clearly proven he can't birdie it from there. Like it's dumb for him to do it, but he's doing it anyway. Just let him do it.
Yeah.
Risk reward.
How about when Bryson was like, yeah, I found a new way to play Augusta. And then I think he missed the cut.
Show like 75. 67 is par for me.
67 is par for him at Augusta.
But that's back when you liked him. That's back when you were flirty with him.
He shot like 76. So he shot a good.
We don't like him anymore.
Back when you called.
Shot a good 10 over.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I did text you guys. I did not understand. Did any of you look it up? I did not understand the Sergio and Joaquin Niemann connection.
I didn't either. That was kind of weird.
That would be like, this is a bad example because Kyle actually loves Rory, but it would be like Kyle up there waiting on Rory at the end because they both spoke English. Like they're not anywhere near similar. Like both of them speak Spanish, but that's it. Like they're not from the same country. I understood some of the other South Americans that were there waiting on him, but it's like they kept showing Sergio, and they were like, Sergio, he groomed him, and I'm like, what do you mean he groomed him? The guy's from Chile. Sergio's from Spain. That's not.
But if you came on tour and there's basically one other guy on tour who speaks Spanish, probably make a little connection there. If you and Rory are both in Saudi playing with a bunch of Saudis, and Rory speaks English, you're gonna hang out with him.
I don't think it was so much of a cultural connection as it is they just are friends. I think that's what it is. When I look it up, it just says they're really, really close and have always been.
Maybe it is cultural, but not geographical.
I wonder, does Sergio still lives though in Texas and Arizona, because that's where his wife's from. Like I looked up, Niemann went to the University of South Florida. So it's not like you would think he would befriend somebody, or somebody would have befriended him from like the Orlando area.
Yeah. Sergio, Mito Pieria, and Carlos Ortiz are all big buds. And they're all
Piero was there. So I got that. Piero was there.
Which he's from Chile.
Jonathan Vegas was there, South American or Venezuelan. But then Sergio, it's like, then the Spanish guy showed up. I was like, okay, cool. Whatever.
Sergio.
They do speak the same language, so
yes.
I mean that is maybe that's how they became friends. Maybe I don't know, but it was that does seem kind of a weird connection, but it just seems like they're just really close friends. So whatever.
I'm just saying the way TV sold it. TV kept so they didn't
countrymen.
Talk about, they didn't talk about Pierre, who is a countryman of his, who they probably grew up playing in junior golf with one another. They just kept showing Sergio and going, his good friend Sergio and his mentor Sergio. And I'm like, that can't be right.
You know, the what probably it was is that Sergio being there gave him peace of mind. That's probably what it was.
And you know what's a good peace of mind, Kyle?
There's what's that? There's nothing more important than peace of mind, Ben. Nothing. And that's what NordVPN is here for, to give you peace of mind while you're online. And the threats that face you today on the internet, it's more important than ever to be sure that you have the best VPN you can get. Plus, you can use NordVPN on all your computers and devices, no matter the operating system. With NordVPN's unlimited bandwidth, you never have to worry about slow connection either. And plans start at under $4 per month. So grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/believe or use code BLEAV. That's BLEAV to get up to 70% off your NordVPN plan, plus one additional month for free. It's also risk-free with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee, where the peace of mind starts. All right, moving on. I really want to dive into this Phil deal, guys. And try to rationalize and understand really where he's coming from. What's the end game here, and what does this mean for like his legacy moving forward? And what I'm talking about is Phil just continuously comes out pounding the PGA Tour and almost seemingly carrying water for this Saudi tour, and he's not even committed to it yet. He was on a podcast recently and said some really controversial things, but just really continues to pound on Jay Monahan, pound on the PGA Tour, just lambaste him over everything, and really sort of starts to like hint that he may be headed to the Saudi tour. So I got a couple of questions for y'all.
Okay.
We heard a lot of what Nate said already, but like bottom line, what's your thoughts on this real quick? Do you feel like this could affect his legacy? And then what's Phil's play here? What's his end game here? And just kind of go around the horn. So Ben started off like we kind of already heard a little bit of Nate's thoughts. We'll let him go in just a second, but Ben, what's the end game here? What's your thoughts on it? And what about like, how does this affect Phil's legacy? Does it affect?
Well, first off, I'm a big fan of having what they call the contrarian in the room. When you got a bunch of people that group think and they all think the exact same, and they all sit around a room like the old guys in the PGA Tour, and they all think alike, they act alike, they dress alike, they're all alike. None of them are different. Phil is the guy that stands out, and he's the contrarian in the room that kind of points at the mole on your face and says, what the hell is that? And I don't mind that. So as far as his legacy, in my mind, it does not tarnish his legacy. I don't have an issue. I love the fact that he's bringing it up and he's calling out the PGA Tour on some issues.
For what?
I think he could have done it a little more tactfully than what he's doing, because I think he kind of forgot where he was being on this podcast and doing some of the interviews that he's doing. I know that people said, it's tactically measured. He knew what he was. I was like, nah, I said that really comes across as like he was being really pissed off. And afterwards he was like, I may have gone a little too far.
What's the crux of the gripe here?
I think that there are things that take place behind the scenes between Phil and some of the other guys on tour, some of the veterans on tour with the PGA Tour office that we don't ever hear about. And the PGA Tour is not listening to those guys. And Phil's thought, you know what? To hell with it. I'll go public with some stuff then. So that way you have to address it.
Nate, that's
what I think he's doing.
Help me understand this. We get the media aspect where I can't share my videos or something like that. Which is whatever. They pay for the rights to record that stuff. So that's not a PGA Tour thing. That's literally every freaking media company or league in the world does that kind of stuff. So what else am I missing? Nate, I gotta be missing something.
I don't think you are. I think that from what I can understand about this whole thing is that is his biggest gripe, is the the dictatorship and the total control. I don't think players have much input across the board. And I didn't even know there was a PGA Tour player policy board until Charlie Hoffman ran his mouth the other day. So I don't know what he wants. I know it appeals to him that if he goes to Saudi, he'll have a ton of control. So I guess maybe he just wants to be the dictator. But
Yeah.
I don't get
No,
the
that could very
impression.
well be it. He could.
I don't.
He's playing that role of I'm smarter than everybody else in the room, and I need to be the leader.
I don't get the impression that he thinks the Saudi League is a good idea or that he necessarily wants to.
Agreed.
He's just using it as a bargaining chip with the PGA Tour, but he's being really blatant about it. So at some point, can't they just call his bluff? Because
say go, Phil.
He doesn't want to go. And Bryson came out today and said, and I'm sorry if you were going to talk about this later, but Bryson said, I'm staying on the PGA Tour if that's where all the best players were, which is very, very cryptic to me.
Yeah.
But as far as his legacy goes, I think this may end up just being a small bump in the road. I think he's having a tussle. I think if he's not fighting, if he's not fighting with the PGA Tour, then he doesn't care about the Saudi League. And if the Saudi League is not established right now, then he just is fighting with the PGA Tour. I don't think it's
So hey, you said it best right there, though, when you said they should call his bluff. Kyle, if you remember when we had this discussion, when we first started talking about the Saudi Tour, we were like, the hell with it. They should just let who wants to go. It's going to be a flash in the pan. It's going to maybe go a year, and then it's probably going to fall by the wayside because not everybody from the PGA Tour is going to go over there. They're still going to want to play the majors. They're still going to want to play the quote unquote World Golf Championship, the WGC events and that kind of thing. So I think that's where the PGA Tour screwed up. Is when they announced this, the PGA Tour should have just acted like it was a minor league golf club that was starting and been like, whatever, y'all go ahead. And then everybody would have been like, well, crap. We were hoping to kind of piss them off and change some rules, and they don't really give a shit that we're going. so then they wouldn't have gone.
Okay, well, I want to make a quick point about rules. Okay, does the PGA Tour have a different set of rules? Like, are the rules that these guys play for any different than like the USGA governing body of golf rules?
You asked that last time, and remember, I still looked up. We cannot find if this new tour is going to have. It is not sanctioned by the USGA, so I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can do their own rules over there or.
Okay, I'm not going that direction yet. So
okay.
My question is, what rules do they play under right now? Is it the PGA Tour rules?
No, it's USGA rules.
Okay, so why is the gripe with the PGA Tour? What the hell does the PGA Tour have to do with the USGA?
Do they have to approve them? I mean, I don't know, but do they have to approve the rules? Do they have to approve? I mean, because it's PGA Tour officials that are the ones out there that are making the judgments on the rulings, even though it's USGA rules.
I don't know the answer to that.
See what I'm saying? Like it's got to be some sort of a partnership because it's PGA Tour officials that are your rules officials on the course, but they're enforcing USGA rules.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this. The PGA Tour, their whole product is the players. That's the only way the PGA Tour exists is the guys who tee it up every week. Not Jay Monahan, not the rules officials. Their entire product, their entire existence, their entire success is based on the players. And a little revolution is good every now and then, like introducing a little anarchy. America was formed. I'm just going to get political real quick. America was formed because they were tired of the bullshit.
Yeah.
And, we don't know everything that happens between the tour and the players. All we see is, man, these guys play golf and they make a bunch of money. Like, how can their life be any better? But, if you need to introduce a little revolution to make it the best it can be, because the PGA Tour is, like you said, a bunch of old guys sitting around a table and it's the same damn thing all the time, do it. Let's lock and load. And if guys don't like it, go to the Saudi Tour. But clearly a bunch of the top players are, have already come out and said, we're not going. So
yeah,
Rory, even after this tournament, post round coverage, they had his interview. I saw it on tonight, and he threw it out there. He said, I don't see how anybody goes. He said, that's the talk amongst the locker room. So I don't know that he was supposed to say that, but
I don't know how they have 20 guys committed.
That's exactly what he said that. He said the guys that I've talked to and the best players in the world and the guys that are competing every Sunday, none of us are going. So I don't know where they're saying.
But do you think that there's a little bit of we don't really want to say if we are going or not right now?
Yeah. Would you want to say right now?
I think that the Bryson comment said that.
But I think he said
I'm going to play whatever the best players are. That's what.
Well, that's the thing is if Phil and let's say 3 other top 10 players go, that's 30%. That's 40% of the
top player anymore.
No, I'm saying if Phil and 3 of the top 10 players, that's 30% of the field of the top 10 players.
That's what I'm saying. That was a strategic comment. That was a very strategic comment.
Yeah.
So does he become 40%? Does he become 40% of the top 10 that's playing overseas? I mean, that's a hit, man. Like everybody talks about it. And I said, it only takes 3 or 4 players to go over there that are top 10 players. And that's damn near half your top 10 field.
Yeah.
So,
it seems like to me,
like you said with Bryson, is that his out? If it's 3 or 4 of the top 10, does he go, well, there you go. There's 30% of the top 10. I'm going. So
that's
then
what I said. I said top players in the world. Here's my deal. This is bottom line. Okay. The PGA Tour is where it is today, not because of Phil Mickelson. It's because of Tiger Woods. Okay. So if anybody's asking, should the PGA Tour change anything? They need to be asking Tiger Woods what needs to be fixed, not freaking Phil Mickelson, who's going through a midlife crisis and he is trying to stay relevant. He won the PGA Championship. Like that should be good enough. No, we're going to do this coffee and workout and all this garbage, and we're going to just be hip and try to down on the PGA Tour every single chance we get when the PGA Tour made you who you are today. And there's no difference from the PGA Tour and their media and things of that nature than any other sports league in the country. Any other sports league in the country. I cannot go to if I'm an NFL player, I cannot go to an NFL broadcast, clip out highlights from CBS without their permission and use it for my personal gain. Right. I cannot do that. That is every single sports league in the country. So this whole thing reeks of I feel like I'm aging and I want to stay relevant. That's what it is. And I love Phil Mickelson. And this is I don't know how you make the PGA Tour better besides making it more fun, where you have more fun events and fun social media. Like it's the best of the best. Like people leave their home countries and come to America to play on this tour. Kids from all over the world go to college in America so that they can play on the PGA Tour, not anywhere else.
Well, I think that's what Ben was saying, and hopefully we'll.
Sorry for my aggression.
No, we love. We love that, Kyle.
Yeah, we do.
But I think what Ben said is maybe there's going to be something that we find out, because there's so much that we don't know whenever something like this happens. And I mean, just because the NFL does it doesn't mean they're doing it right. Just because, and the MLB is obviously struggling, right? I mean, their season hangs in the balance right now. So there's clearly some issues there. But whenever you have this, you have this huge, and it boils down to money. I mean, I think everything that you see with all these sports leagues it boils down to money. If it sounds like Phil's biggest gripe is, hey, I don't get to make as much money as you do off of my name, even though you just won the PIP. So you want to talk about making someone look like a dumbass.
So anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if that wasn't like on purpose.
Well, the one thing that I didn't like it, because I told you, I do like that he is. I do like that he is the quote unquote contrarian in the room. Like he will, he will point out some flaws. What I didn't like is when he complained about the match, and he basically said that they took a cut. They took $1 million cut from him on the match. And I think that was his quote, that it was $1 million. And I thought, don't tell me that you went into that not knowing that though. And you still played. Like there are plenty of other people that probably would have signed up to make $10 million to give $1 million away to the PGA Tour. Like I don't understand. Like when he came out with that, he was like, I mean, they took $1 million. I did the match to help the game, and they took $1 million. It was like, okay, you had to have known that going into it. There's no chance you didn't know that going into it.
Hold on, hang on a second. First of all, what?
Yeah, the match that he played with Tiger, that $10 million purse or whatever it was.
And the PGA Tour is in on that. How?
I guess that it was.
Oh no!
It was some sort of sanctioned event.
I'd go to Saudi for that too. PGA Tour, no. Whether he knows it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he'd fight for that. No, that's stupid. He said so just because he's on the PGA Tour.
He said that they using their name and likeness and all that kind of stuff, they took a cut.
Well, I mean,
If that's
What
the
did
case,
they-
if that is
It's that- but it's
entirely
like
100% completely true,
but Nate,
then
but-
F the PGA Tour.
But Nate, that's just like Kyle just said. The NFL does the exact same thing. If one of those players goes and does Dancing with the Stars, they're giving a cut to the Shield. I promise you, if they win it, they're getting a cut because they're known as an NFL player. They're not known as Joe Schmo that's competing on Dancing with the Stars. They're the NFL. Like you, once you use the PGA Tour player Phil Mickelson, he's got to give him a cut.
There's some deeper. I'm sure the PGA Tour did a hell of a lot more than just say you're one of our athletes, so give us $1 million.
Yeah.
We'll do a little bit more research on that. We got to move on just a tad, but
that was just his comment. I don't even know if that's true, if it was more or less, if it were a percentage, but
And they
it
do get
turned out to be $1
insurance,
million. I don't know. Yeah. Again, I don't know.
They get retirement too. Like but anyway, all right. So got listeners, what's your thoughts on this? So let us know how you feel about this whole Phil Mickelson controversy. Am I way out of bounds? Is there something that I'm missing? Is there something we're missing? Let us know.
Kyle's mad.
I get mad.
Kyle.
I get fired up about stuff. I get fired up when people are, I guess, disrespectful, feel like they're more valuable than they actually are, and they start railing on an item that made them who they are today. And it wouldn't have even been that if it wasn't for Tiger Woods. So let's ask Tiger what he thinks. Let's ask Tiger what he thinks about the Saudi tour. And
they asked him in the broadcast.
And what did he say?
He said, I ain't going. I'm right here.
Yeah, but
he's like, I signed up to play on the PGA Tour. That's where I'm playing.
There you go. That's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Kyle, so you're not going either?
I'm not going. So Saudis,
what if Rory goes? What if Rory goes?
Don't chop my head off. Sorry.
What if Rory goes?
So
I'm gonna be sad if Rory.
Did Phil just watch Antonio Brown just walk out on the Jets that day, and he's like, okay, let's see how this goes.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened.
It was the Bucks.
I kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Either playing the Jets, whatever, man.
No, he was for I think he was on the Bucks playing the Jets. There you go.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. All right.
I'm leaving this podcast. I'm going to the Saudi version.
One more thing to talk
luck.
about. But first off, I want to give a shout out to Swannies.co. Use coupon code DadBod Golf Pod -25. Take
a hoodie.
25%
Swannies
off
hoodie.
next order. Check out that brand new black hoodie with the scoop neck. It's not a quarter zip. Pretty sweet.
Nope.
And the partial bit of the new line is available now. You can log on to their website, Swannies.co. They got brand new polos, brand new pullovers. And he says the second half is going to be even better. Can't wait to see all that stuff. Go ahead and check them out now. You better start getting on that stuff now because it's going to be gone pretty quick. And then you have to wait for the restock. So Swannies.co, coupon code DadBodGolfPod -25. All right. Where this fashion starts. Real quick, last thing, Tiger Woods interviews all weekend. Is there anything big to take away from that? I have one comment, but I'm gonna let y'all start. Any big takeaways from that you have from Tiger Woods?
I didn't see I just saw a couple quotations on the Golf Digest Instagram. He said he will be back. I think we kind of already knew that. I would say pretty vanilla as far as Tiger interviews go.
I agree. They kind of pressed him on the Masters thing a little bit. Faldo, I love Faldo's little sign off, even though he's a pansy. His sign off on the interview on Saturday with Tiger was, "We'll see you at Augusta." And then they kind of left it at that. Like nobody said anything. It was that awkward silence, and then they went right back to coverage. So so I did like that. He didn't give us anything, but he did say he wants to be able to compete before he gets back out there. And he said that's what he's working on. I did like this. He said, I'm not just playing to be playing. I want to have a chance to be at the top of the leaderboard, which is kind of odd because he's always said, I'm not getting in a tournament unless I have a chance to win it. And he didn't say that. He just said, I want to be able to compete. And he said, right now, I don't feel like I can do that.
Here's my thing. Why do we have to be so cryptic? Why?
He's always been that way.
That's part of the mystique.
I was like, please just tell me when.
That's part of the mystique, I guess, of Tiger Woods. But like, I mean, first of all, he started talking about how it's hard to walk on hills. So they're like, okay, well, Harbor Town, and St. Andrews. Pretty flat courses. Could you think you can handle those? I just don't know. I just gotta, but I think he does know. I think he does know, and maybe this is part of the whole suspense. And like when it does drop, it's like a huge surprise. And I don't know. I
think he's got a goal. He's just not telling any of us.
It's sort of aggravating.
I think part of it is
he has
just imagine anything that you say being national news, and if you don't do what you say, then it's also national news. So like talk about not being able to walk something back, or like, Sunday you're like, hey, I want to play Thursday, and then Monday you're like, I'm not. Both of those. What about the par three?
They asked him about the par 3 contest, and he's like,
he's not playing that unless he tees it up. I don't think.
He's never played that. So I don't know why it would start now.
That's true. Yeah, he doesn't.
Why not though?
Some guys don't. I think he played it a long time ago, but he doesn't now. I mean, what if he wins? Who cares?
I mean, I mean, there's just little things like that, like playing the par 3 course. Let's just see you play on TV.
Maybe you will know that Charlie's kind of more into it.
I don't mind him not doing that though, Kyle. If he's, I don't think he's taking this approach, but if he's taking the approach that I'm not going to take away from the other guys by showing up and playing the par 3 course, because that's going to be the news.
Take away from who?
No, that's not.
Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be.
Tom Watson.
The par 3 course will have way more coverage if Tiger Woods is in it than it already gets.
That's a good thing.
But he doesn't do it. He just doesn't want to.
But it'll be all Tiger. It won't be anybody else.
That's not.
I don't think he cares.
Yeah.
And maybe not. And maybe that's just what it is. But like, I don't know, man. Just give us something, man. Just give us something to look forward to. Because he said he really felt like he was going to be playing in 2022. That was exactly what he said.
I think it's
at some point in time. I do too. That's my guess. At some point in time, he's going to be playing in 2022. If you know that, when you're coming back. Like
I think
you already have something circled.
I think he knows because JT has said that he thinks he knows.
If he circles something, if he tells you what he's got circled, and for whatever reason it doesn't work out, like I just sounds like it's easier. A setback. I don't know, a car accident.
How bad are these reporters? Because JT did say, he said when I've been hanging out with him, like he's giving me a target. I am wearing JT's ass out if I'm a reporter every time that I walk in front of him.
Probably do. But JT
get him drunk. Get him drunk and ask him.
Get him drunk. Yeah. Take him down to Tiger's restaurant. Get him drunk.
Get the wife involved. Like, or he's not. Is he married yet?
No.
Didn't he just get married? Or is he
you know what? Go take the low blow. Ask the kids at one of the tournament. Kids never lie. They'll tell you the truth.
Exactly. Just get. He does have a fiance, Jillian Wisniewski.
Wisniewski.
Yeah.
I Wisniewski.
Get Jill. Let's get J Dub involved.
She a South Alabama girl.
Let's get J Dub involved. I bet she knows the answer. Anyway, all right, guys. Great Monday show. Riviera was awesome. Phil, whatever.
I'm upset about Phil.
I'm very upset about Phil. I'm very aggravated because I really like Phil, and this is making me. This is kind of like I feel like it's kind of like watching your dad get beat up in a fight. If that makes sense. Like
I love it.
I think you've said that before.
I probably said it, but that's definitely what it feels like. It's like watching your dad get beat up in a fight and you don't really know what to do. It's just a bad look for somebody that you really, really care about and you really like. And then Tiger
But is it because he's had so many people that, we've heard the bad takes, but there are other people that have come out and supported him on this.
Yeah.
They're like, hell give it to the man.
And Greg Norman is excommunicated from golf over this. You don't think Phil could too?
Yeah, Greg. Well, he hadn't done himself any favors through the years anyway.
And Phil's not doing himself any favors right now either. I'm just saying. All right, guys, appreciate it. Tonight's episode is brought to you by BetOnline. We really appreciate y'all listening. Check us out on Wednesday. A diabolical Would You Rather Wednesday is coming your way. We've already been prepped on some things. We've been doing our research. We're ready to go. So y'all check us out on Wednesday and then again on Friday. We really appreciate it. Love you guys. Dadbod Golf Pod.
Always